Yeah. Jam on it.
Yeah, yeah, we know, we know.
Huh.
somebody does a real quick one like we saw last year, it's a world record that can be recorded. So our first heat of H1 Unlimited Racing, it's heat number 1. It's coming up inside 10 minutes. It is presented by Allen Land Surveying. It's going to feature the 91, the black and gold and white Miss Goodman Real Estate. It is driven by Andrew Tate. They were our top qualifier. They're going to be joined by a whole lot of Tennessee Orange. It's the U40, the Bucket List Racing, and Dustin Eccles. He will be behind the wheel of that one. Then it is our defending national high points champion, J. Michael Kelly, driving the bright red, trimmed in yellow Beacon Electric. That boat is U1. And rounding out our 4-boat field is the black, red, and white Miss Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen. The 91, the 40, the 1, and the 11, or as I like to say, Tate, Eccles, Kelly, Nielsen. Let's go take a look at the clock. We are inside 8 minutes to the start, inside 8 minutes. Our boats can come out on the water at the 6-minute mark. Typically, as I said before, that is a 5-minute clock, but they can come out at 6 minutes because of the distance they need to travel across Lake Gunnersville. So this is it. We got a 5-race season coming up in 2024 for the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes. And this is our first heat of the summer. Looking at the clock, 7:20. 7:20 until our start. Again, boats can come out at the 6-minute mark. And we've had our conversations about this new start procedure. We've done our best to explain it. And I, right along with all of you, are going to see this for the first time. It should be interesting. It should be fun. Let's see how it works. Remember, the dreaded 80-mile-an-hour rule is gone. We've been joking all weekend that it's buried right there in the sand. That's where we buried, Ashley, the 80-mile-per-hour rule. It's right there. Yes, it was. The question that just got put in my ear was the U9, the Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody's ride. Did they get the commissioner's option after failing their 2 qualification attempts based on fuel flow? And the answer to that is yes, a definitive yes. Darrell Strong's 2 boats, the 1 and the 9, will both be competing on an equal footing with everybody else here for the Southern Cup. The only thing they forfeited was any points in qualifying. So yes, they will run in our heats of racing for the Southern Cup. Thank you to our fan for asking that question and pointing out to me the fact that I forgot to point that out to you, our racing fans. So, looking at the clock, Corey, hit me with a backhand if I get in your way. Everybody's looking at the same place, and we all keep inching out a little bit further to see this clock, which right now says 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Boats can come out on the water, and we've got boats moving over on the other side. So here we go. Allen Land Surveying, H1 Unlimited, Heat 1. Andrew Tate, Dustin Eccles, J. Michael Kelly, Jamie Nielsen. The Miss Goodman Real Estate. It's black, it's white, it's trimmed in gold. Tennessee Orange is the Bucket List Racing and Dustin Eccles. Bright red, trimmed in yellow, is the U1, the Beacon Electric, J. Michael Kelly. And rounding out our 4-boat field, and we're going to go 3 times around. Rounding out that 4-boat field is the U11, the Miss Mercury's Coffee. So your colorblind announcer here is going to pick these guys out, but I think I've got, that's JMK that is headed toward the top end of the race course. J. Michael Kelly, the boat carries a number U1. That is indicative of he being the 2023 H1 Unlimited National High Points champion. Again, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen in this start procedure. This is going to be fun to see how the drivers want to do it. This is JMK, J. Michael Kelly, driving the U1, the Beacon Electric, last year's defending National High Points champion and APBA Gold Cup champion. Right behind him here comes the black, red, and white U11 Miss Mercury's Coffee. That is Jamie Nielsen. Here comes Dustin Eccles. He'll come across start-finish line in the Tennessee Orange and black and yellow Bucket List Racing. And looking forward, here's our first little change to the starting procedure. We see the 3 boats come out and go across the start-finish line. They're all down to the bottom end of the race course. Andrew Tate says, yeah, I don't think so. He's got another idea. Here comes Andrew. He's coming slowly off the top end of the race course. He clearly did not want to be with the rest of the guys, so his start sequence is going to be a little different. Whether we change the start procedure or not, this is what we refer to as the race before the race. And we're 3 minutes and 34 seconds from the start. Now, here comes Jamie Nielsen. He is cutting across the race course. He's cutting across from the back stretch to the front stretch, and he's doing it at what we call the top end of the race course. That is a perfectly legal maneuver. He can cut that course from the front stretch that he's on now. He could go to the back stretch now if he wanted to at the bottom end of the race course. Looks like Andrew Tate's going to come across as well, but Jamie Nielsen's going to run down to the bottom end of the race course. Now, we're starting to approach, we are approaching 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the start. It is the 90-second mark, 1:30. The guys have to be behind the start-finish line. Oh, here we go with a cut across the race course here by Andrew Tate. So Kelly's going to come off the lower corner down there, and he's going to get from his radio man that is Andrew Tate coming across the race course right in front of him. J. Michael Kelly has the right-of-way there. He is the driver on the race course, and Andrew Tate yielded to him. He let him go by. Now watch Andrew. He will, unless he lost power without wanting to, he has set the boat down. Now, again, this is part of the new rule involved because previously he is violating an 80-mile-an-hour rule as he is not moving up there. Now, he could be doing this. He's either got a problem or he's doing this because he wants to. We won't know that just yet. We're going to assume this is what he is wanting to do. But this is part, and here he goes. Now he's going to fire it up. So this is part of the new start procedure. That would have been a violation a year ago with the 80-mile-an-hour rule. This is part of the trolling we've talked about. Now look at the boats going slowly at the top end. Andrew trying to pick this thing up and get it up on a plane. Keep an eye on him. He's trying hard to spool this thing up and get her rolling. Meanwhile, coming off the top end of the race course, that's J. Michael Kelly in lane number 1. He's got Jamie Nielsen sitting right with him in 2. And Tate is really pushing things right now as we are inside 90 seconds. So obviously very, very legal at the score-up buoy. Everybody was clearly way behind it at the minute 30-second mark. Kelly and Nielsen appear to be okay. It's Andrew Tate who couldn't get the boat up on a plane. He was really fighting it up the backstretch. He has really got himself in a big hole here. And this is part of what we talked about. If you want to shut the boat off, sometimes it takes a little longer to get the boat back up and running. But here comes Andrew, and he's going to be struggling to catch up with the team. And yes, he does have to go all the way around the race course. He cannot cut that course and get over to the backstretch. He's got to go all the way around. So we're going to look at our 3 leaders as we're inside 45 seconds to the start. Now we're inside 40. Lane number 1 is going to go to J. Michael Kelly. Lane number 2 is going to go to Jamie Nielsen in the Mercury's Coffee. J. Michael Kelly is in 1 in the Beacon Electric, and then in lane 3, currently on the outside, is Dustin Eccles in Bucket List Racing. Now look at Andrew Tate as he starts to reel in the field at the 22nd mark. Andrew, he may be okay. He may be okay. Again, we just don't know the timing mark here, but it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in 1, Jamie Nielsen in 2. In lane number 3 is going to be Dustin Eccles, and on the outside and trailing the field, it is going to be Andrew Tate. We are inside 5 seconds. We're 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. The start appears to be clean, and it was Dustin Eccles who broke the clock. Tate was able to catch up to the field, kind of. He's on the outside, but he's trailing by about 5 or 6 boat lengths as he gets down to the lower end of the race course. First boat we see making the corner, J. Michael Kelly, driving a Beacon Electric, but look to the outside of him. He's got company. He's got Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List Racing on the outside. He is in second place. He's running in lane number 3. The start was clean. The start was clean. In third place is Jamie Nielsen in the Mercury's Coffee, and Andrew Tate. Don't count him out, but don't count out Dustin Eccles. He is staying right in that right side rear view mirror of J. Michael Kelly. He's to the apex of the corner. Remember, fans, we're going to go around 3 times. Kelly still with the lead. Where's Dustin? Where's Dustin? There he is. Dustin is staying right with him. Good racing here in our Heat 1 presented by Allen Land Surveying. This is going to be good. It is Kelly. He's out by about 3 boat lengths on Dustin Eccles and Bucket List, and now in third place it is Andrew Tate. Tate has gobbled up the U11 of Mercury's Coffee at the end of lap number 1. But the race is out front. J. Michael Kelly, Beacon Electric U1. Right side rear view mirror is full of Tennessee Orange, and that's Dustin Eccles. Andrew Tate's running a big race course, but he is closing in slowly on our 2 leaders, and you cannot see Dustin Eccles. He is right there with J. Michael Kelly. Oh, this one's not over at all. Remember, we go 3 times around. This will be the completion of lap number 2. Kelly out front by a couple of boat lengths now, looking for Dustin. Where is he? Oh, there he is. H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing at its very best. J. Michael Kelly, Beacon Electric, Dustin Eccles trying to gobble him up on the outside. Tate's still in the picture, but he's going to run out of real estate and run out of time. Oh boy, I just got a message I did not know. Apparently we're going 4 times around. I did not know that. That one didn't get caught, but apparently they're going to go 4 times around. It's going to give Dustin more time, but Dustin's right there again with JMK. Up the backstretch now. It is still J. Michael Kelly. That looks like 1 hydroplane over there. It is 2. And now we can see the air scoop on the Bucket List Racing. He is pulled up alongside. They can look out the window and talk to each other. Kelly in 1. Dustin Eccles in 2. Outstanding racing here in our first heat of the day, presented by Allen Land Surveying. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any better than this in H1 Unlimited Racing. They should come down and get the white flag, and they do. We're going to go one more time. Eccles on the outside is closed the 2 within 1 boat length. 1 boat length as we start our final lap. Down to the lower end of the race course, Kelly, who do we see? There is J. Michael Kelly in lane number 1. You see the importance of that lane. But somewhere out there is Dustin Eccles. He is lurking. And there it is. We see the boat one more time. You can see the air scoop right behind the wing and the fairing on J. Michael Kelly's bright red Beacon Electric. Dustin Eccles, Bucket List Racing, right there with J. Michael Kelly. This is going to be a drag race off the top end of the race course. Doesn't get much better than this in H1 Unlimited Racing. 2 boats side by side for 4 laps. Where's Dustin? There he is right there. Look how close he's staying to Mike. And now it's going to be a run to the finish line. J. Michael Kelly in 1. It is going to be Eccles in 2, and Kelly's going to hold on and get him. Or is he? Yes, he did. Holy cow, that was close. Oh, I thought he was going to get him easy, and then all of a sudden, Eccles really closed over the last couple 100 feet. Oh, my goodness, is that really what we're going to do all summer long? That is awesome. Oh, that was fun. J. Michael Kelly on the water is your winner. Dustin Eccles, driving Bucket List Racing, will come home in 2nd place again on the water. Our top qualifier, Andrew Tate in the U91, the Goodman Real Estate, will come home in 3rd. And our 4th place finisher will be the U11, the Miss Mercury's Coffee, and Jamie Nielsen. Holy cow, we got a summer full of that coming up. Sign me up. Allen Land Surveying, our presenting sponsor for our first heat of the season. They absolutely don't get much better than that one. And I say on the water, that was our finish order because same as we had to do in our qualifying session, we have to run the boats through tech inspection. I can tell you now that one of the changes we've made within H1 Unlimited, we are trying to do this as quickly as humanly possible. The first boat they will jump on will be J. Michael Kelly's U1, the Beacon Electric. We just got it in my ear that the video has confirmed that it was indeed J. Michael Kelly. And when our officials just touched me in the ear with that information, I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure I know exactly what they were talking about. We don't get that very often, that we have to have video proof of who won the heat. It was that close. Wow. So, no, I'm not going to hand you a microphone, but I'm going to have you come stand close enough to me to where we can kind of both get picked up. So, you started this Hydrotown thing, and H1 Unlimited, chairman of the board of both of those organizations. We got, please. Oh, we will definitely get there. Yes, we will. But I got Mike Denslow here. So, That seemed to work pretty well. What do you think of the first heat of the year?
We're not taking any credit for it, but that was incredible. Photo finish, first heat. Can't be more excited than that.
It's unbelievable. So all we want, it's very simple. Just do that every heat. The rest of the year, we'll all be happy.
Well, the starting procedure played out the way we wanted to. The guys had their own way they wanted to handle it, and we had a good start. Andrew obviously had an issue, but other than that, we had a good score up and a good start and some great racing, and that's exactly what we want all weekend.
As I always say, it's that kind of deck-to-deck racing. I don't care who it is, and I don't care the speed. That's what will bring the fans back. That was terrific racing. I mentioned earlier this morning the new relationship between H1 Unlimited and RevChem Composites, and part of that new relationship encompasses a Fast Lap Top Qualifier Award and a $2,500 prize for our top qualifier. We mentioned earlier that across the start-finish line. They showed me an awful lot because they put that boat on the outside of our defending national high points champion, and they were gaining on him and gaining on him and gaining on him. And had we had another couple of buoys to go, I think we may have had a different outcome in that first heat. Erica, I think you're all wired in. That bucket list racing really showed me something in that first heat.
Absolutely, and I don't think we could have gotten a better Heat 1 out of this weekend. That was truly incredible, and given if there was another lap, I'm not sure how that one would have came out and resulted in.
Yeah, it was that was something special, and it's too bad we can't get all of the heats of racing like that. I went to our new chief referee, Jonathan Abbott, who joins H1 Unlimited for the first time this year. I went up to him and I said, by the way, nice job on that first heat. Is that the plan? We're going to do that every heat all year long? He says, that's the idea. Let's make it work, because that was fun. So buckle up, Gunnersville. Here we go. It is H1 Unlimited Heat 2, presented by Allen Land Surveying. Looking at the clock here, what do we got? Inside 1 minute to the 5-minute mark. Boats can come out on the water now. They will turn them loose at the 6-minute mark. We are there. Erica, I'm going to step out around there and get a better view, because I'm not missing these boats.
Understandably.
So if you'd like to follow me around here, I got to carry all my little papers and stuff. Dan Ford, I'm going to try and step behind you here if I can and just get through this little tunnel. I'm getting better at it. Erica, you can come out and join me out here. Oh, she's going to stay back there. All right. 5 minutes and 12 seconds. We got boats out on the race course. Here comes Erica. She's going to come over and stand next to me where we can watch this thing. And I want Erica to come here because 1, 2, 3, 4 boats are now moving out of the pit area. We got 3 entering the top end of the race course. But I think it's interesting that Bucket List Racing and Dustin Eccles had such a great race with J. Michael Kelly in our first heat of the H1 Unlimiteds today. You had an opportunity to talk with Dustin. What did he have to say about that first heat?
Yeah, chatting with the U40 driver, he said after his qualifying time and that first heat performance, he has a lot of confidence in himself, the boat, and the team's game plan going into the weekend. He said he and the team really worked on the way the boat handles in the off-season, and it paid off in big ways, Brad. And now he said the focus is creeping back up in speed, so I'm curious to see if he can do that here in Heat 2.
Very good. Our fans are just going to notice that Andrew Tate just came across the start-finish line, and just out the right side window was Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing, the U9, following him down there to the lower end of the race course is that bright orange boat driven by Dustin Eccles, with whom you spoke. We look up toward the other end of the race course. Here comes Mr. Vilwalk, and I I think you had an opportunity to talk to Andrew Tate as well, and I'm curious what he might have had to say given the situation he had with the boat being behind the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite that, Andrew Tate described his boat as beautiful and has everything it needs to be out front and successful, and that's proven in its track record. However, he said he's still learning the hull and fine-tuning things, but that'll come just with time in the driver's seat. He said despite the adjustment, he's already been incredibly impressive in the preseason and in qualifying, and he said Heat 1 was simply just a driver error that he has since learned from.
Yeah, and when they do something like that and have a driver's error like that, the only thing they can do is just erase it from the memory.
Absolutely.
It's not going to do you any good to talk about it. And it looks like we just re-racked the tape here. And with Andrew Tate and Corey Peabody, you want to talk about two of the most competitive guys on the planet. Those are them right there. They both want to win. The other boat in the heat that we didn't talk about, but he came across start-finish line here while we were chatting, was the brand-new U-27 Miss Apollo with Dave Villwalk. Here comes Dustin Eccles across. Now, watch this. Now it gets a little bit fun. Here goes Dustin. Going to cut the race course. He's going to jump over to the backside. So when Andrew and Corey come off the lower corner, their radio guys are going to say, yeah, well, that boat in front of you is Dustin Eccles. So Eccles is now going to jump over there. Let's see if Dustin doesn't pin this thing on the buoy row and try and garner an inside lane. But again, remember, we don't know exactly what this start procedure is going to look like. They're all trying to feel it out a little bit. And indeed, Dustin did go to an inside lane. Dave Villwalk cut the race course. He's going to go up there behind everybody. Remember, you have to stay behind the start-finish line at the 90-second mark, 1 minute and a half. Right now, we just went inside 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am very impatiently waiting to see Dave Villwalk at a race pace. Given the times that he set in testing and qualifying sessions, it's going to be hard, like you said, with the new procedures before the race, but I'm very excited to see him at race pace.
Yeah, I still think they're going to take this thing easy, though. They are still sorting that boat out, but we're about to see. We're coming up on 5 seconds to the 30 seconds before the start. And now it is, by my look, 1:30, and it looks to me like everybody is legal and behind the score-up buoy. Now, this is interesting because Corey has a lot of speed. It was a clean score-up. Corey's got speed on the outside. If he can get 5 boat lengths on those 2 boats off to his left, he could move left. I don't know. That would be awfully close. He's trying to do it. You see Andrew and you see Dustin trying to stay with him and not let him get enough overlap. Tough to see from here how that worked, but Corey did. Corey moved to the inside. He didn't get all the way to the inside, but he went from lane 3 into lane 2. He pushed Andrew out a lane. Dustin still able to hold on to that inside lane. Now, whatever lane they are in, when they go past the entrance buoy at the top end of the course, that's the lane they have to race in to the start-finish line, but it's going to be Dustin Eccles in lane number 1. It's going to be Corey Peabody in 2. It's going to be Andrew Tate in 3. Not surprisingly, we're going to have Dave Villwalk on the outside coming up on 25 seconds to the start. It is H1 Unlimited, Heat 2, presented by Allen Land Surveying. 4 boats at the top end of the race course. Oh, this could be fun. Get your camera ready, fans. This might be a real good look. Coming up on 12 seconds off the top end. That's usually my unofficial timing mark. Here we go. Eccles in 1, Peabody in 2, Tate in 3, Villwalk on the outside. Oh, we're still 2 seconds. 1 second. Mark. Oh, boy, I think once again we may have some gun jumpers, and I think by my look, the first legal starter may have been Andrew Tate in lane number 3, but I'm not going to do that. We'll call them on the water the way they are. And coming off the corner in that position is lane number 1, Dustin Eccles, driving the U40 Bucket List Racing. I think what he's got right with him there is Corey Peabody in the U9. You know, there's 2 boats there. There's actually 3, but I think Corey is the one that is tight to Dustin as they get to the top end of the race course. Remember, we're going to go 4 times around. Now the big walls of water off the skid fins up there. Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List Racing, but I'm not sure about that start. We will wait until we get it officially. But there's a heck of a race going on in second place between Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate. They come down to put one in the book. It's Eccles, it's Peabody, it's Tate in that order. Tate and Corey Peabody are side by side as they go down to the lower end of the race course. Again, we're checking and monitoring the official radio to see what it looks like. And Dustin has lost power. Dustin has lost power at the lower end of the race course. He is down. Now you've got your two boats side by side coming off the corner. There may be a question or two here about somebody jumping the gun, but at the end of the day, you got two guys shooting it out up the backstretch here, halfway, 2/3 of the way up on lap number 2 of 4. Now we'll see what kind of an advantage Corey Peabody has on that inside lane. Andrew Tate's got to give him 30 feet of lane space off the buoy. He's going to hold him in tight, but he's going to give him enough room. Corey with a nice corner up there. And I'll tell you what, Andrew Tate drove him real clean. But look at these two guys coming down to complete lap number 2. It is Andrew Tate out by about a boat length and a half on Corey Peabody. You said, Andrea, that you said Andrew was really happy with his boat. Well, it's running extremely well right now. Now, Corey, because of that inside lane, takes the lead, but there is Andrew Tate. We are on lap number 3. Still monitoring the H1 Unlimited radio to find out if somebody jumped, because I think we had a couple, but we're going to call them the way they are in the water. And right now, the way they are in the water is Andrew Tate Goodman Real Estate at the 2/3 mark of the backstretch. He's got about half a rooster tail on Corey. Watch Corey in this top end of the race course and see if he can gobble up Andrew there. Andrew's having some incredible acceleration off of the corners. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, Corey hung it way up in the air on the right side. He was able to land it. He went through the rooster tail of Andrew Tate, and now Tater's going to come down, pick up a white flag with 1 to go. Corey, you put our hearts in our throat on that one. He landed it, he brought it back down, but there was some time there that, well, the drivers will like to tell you it's just spamming a can. You are along for the ride at some point in that. Oh, boy, Corey. All right, now up the backstretch on the white flag lap, it is all Andrew Tate. Again, if they were to ask me, and they won't, but if they were, I believe I would tell you that Andrew Tate was a legal starter. He was certainly appeared to be clean from our vantage point here on start-finish line. I think he's going to come down, pick up a checkered flag, and I think at least on the water, he is going to be our winner of H1 Unlimited Heat 2, presented by Allen Land Surveying. Here comes Andrew. He will look to the right, and he'll get a checkered flag. Andrew Tate Goodman Real Estate. Nice driving, Andrew. And here comes the young man to put our hearts in our throat for a while. He really hung that right sponson for a long time. And it's really a dangerous position when you pick up the outside sponson like that and then you stick it in a rooster tail as Dave Vilwalk comes home in 3rd place. It's really dangerous, Erica, when they pick up a sponson like that and then they get the right side of the boat that's already up in the air and they get it into a rooster tail. That usually doesn't end well. I was very glad to see Corey come out the other side, but that was a little scary for a minute.
That one definitely was scary, but I do think that that is a testament to him and his driving capabilities to be able to get that thing regained back under control.
Thank you, Dan. You're awesome. Eric and I will find our way back to our little broadcast spot. Thank you, Dan Ford. Wow.
and Dave. So I think every time we put boats on the water, it's going to be a strong field. Everybody's so equal. It's really exciting to see.
Yeah, and that's what we keep talking about. You know, you go back in the day, and I tell fans all the time, go back and watch some of the races back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s even. Yeah, you got more boats in the pit area, but how many of them were really given a good shot at winning the event? Pretty much anybody across there could do this if everything goes according to plan for them. That's the idea. We've got 6 boats. It's going to be very competitive. Coming up on 6:50 until the start. Normally, Mike, our boats are not allowed to be released and come out on the race course until the 5-minute mark, but because the pit area is so far away, we let them come out at the 6-minute mark.
I know they can't tell from maybe the video screen, but the pits are very far away. So, yeah, they've got to make that long trek across and join up in turn 2. And then they'll be a part of the course and start the strategy for the new starting procedure.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that new starting procedure. You were intimately involved in helping pull that and put it together, but we've buried the 80-mile-an-hour rule right up just about where you're standing, I think is where we said it was yesterday. So it's gone. It came into play very quickly yesterday in our first heat. Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate went down, and the boat was below 80 miles an hour for the better part of a minute. It would have been a DSQ in years past, but not this time. He was able to pick the boat up, get it running. He was late, but he picked up third-place points, and that's the whole idea.
Well, better show for the fans, for the sponsors, everyone involved. We don't want to DSQ for somebody for something like that. So I was glad to see that it came up right away, and Andrew got himself back in the heat and was racing and all good. And I think I see a rooster tail over there.
We got a couple of them coming. In fact, make that 3. We're looking for 4 boats to come away from the dock. I count 1, 2, 3. Now there is number 4 at the 5-minute 20-second mark. It is H1 Unlimited Heat 3 presented by the Guntersville Water Board. Guntersville Water Board, Mike Denslow, they've been on board here a number of years with sponsorship dollars for this event. I don't have to tell you, sponsorships are so critical. We thank Guntersville Water Board for their participation.
I've heard that name a lot as you've been calling the races here since 2018, and I think back to that Jimmy Shane, Andrew Tate final heat in 2018, and of all the races that have happened in the last 10 years, I've probably watched that one more than any other race.
That was an awful lot of fun. Well, that was an interesting race across the lake, if you will, because Corey Peabody appeared like he wanted to come across here first and get himself established, and Jamie Nielsen said, you know what, and he ran right up alongside him. And now Corey is kind of giving it a little squirt. He's going to come down the front straightaway first. This is going to give us our first opportunity to see our boats in our Heat 3 H1 Unlimited Heat presented by the Guntersville Water Board. It's U9, the defending Guntersville champion. That is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. Here comes the Miss Mercury's Coffee. I know you really like this one, talking about sponsors. We got a brand new one right here, Mike. That's pretty good stuff.
Mercury's Coffee and Morgan Harris out of the Seattle area. Yeah, we're excited to have them on board for sure.
And how about this? You got the defending national high points champion, the red boat on the inside, and that guy on the outside. He's won a few times before. The winningest driver in the history of H1 Unlimited Racing, Dave Vilwalk, got that brand new craft. Always good to see a new boat on the water.
And isn't it amazing how it's showing really well right out of the box?
Yeah, I think his second run that he did on Friday, I think they touched a 163, and we're talking about a new sponsor with Mercury's Coffee, Apollo Mechanical, out of the Tri. You know those guys.
Absolutely, yeah. We were really excited to bring them on board for the Tri-Cities race, the Seattle race, and on a brand new boat driven by Dave Vilwalk.
Going to be good. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. Now, we'll watch our start procedure come into play. Mike and I will try and do our best to describe it, but the bottom line is 80-mile-an-hour rule is gone, and you have to have your boat behind the start-finish line at 90 seconds. That really never came into play yesterday, Mike. Nobody got close to the line at 90 seconds. We'll see how they play it today. I think we're going to see different strategies as the day plays out. The first thing I noticed this morning, Strong Racing, Corey Peabody, they had the saltwater snorkel on yesterday. It's gone now.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. So, Yeah, Corey's got to make up some points to guarantee himself for the final, so that'll be fun to see. The big thing with the starting procedure is wanting 4 boats hitting start-finish right on time. So I'm glad we put that into play, and yesterday worked out well. I talked to Andrew, and he just made a mistake. He got going too slow and killed it, but then he was able to get back in the race.
And we know with this new start procedure, some of what we might see is a little bit of trolling, and we've got a little bit of it going on right now as J. Michael Kelly is approaching the the entrance pin to turn 2 at the top of the race course. He's barely moving. Teammate Corey Peabody's going to come right up there with him. Where is Dave going to stick his boat? I'm going to assume he is going to go to the outside. Meanwhile, Jamie Nielsen has got himself parked in lane number 1 coming off the top end of the race course. Now, looking at the clock, the minute 30 will come into play. We've got a minute 45.
Oh, they'll be fine.
They're going to be fine, but I'm expecting the boats to come up with more speed and surprise Jamie. Jamie's now being told go ahead and go because we're five seconds away from a minute 30. He's going to be fine and legal, and he's going to be sitting in lane number 1. 130 right there, clearly legal. Jamie pulled off another one.
Yep, Jamie has a way of doing that. He did that in Madison last year and smoked everybody.
Now, lane 1 is not his yet because the commitment buoy where they commit to their lane is the entrance pin to turn 2. But he is in a perfect position right now to what we call defend that lane.
Absolutely. He'll just hold that speed. They're not going to be able to go fast enough to get around and in front of him. At least I don't think so. Before turn 2.
Yeah, he's got his radio man over here, Scott Rainey, talking in his ear, telling him exactly where these guys are. And J. Michael Kelly, did he get...
Mike just got wet a little bit, yep.
And that was courtesy of teammate Corey Peabody, who moved in on him. So it looks like it's going to be the Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen in lane number 1. Looks like Peabody's going to sit in 2, and the Beacon Plumbing, Beacon Electric, U1. J. Michael Kelly going to land in lane 3. Dave Villwalk will trail the field up to the top end, but he'll be with them when they come down, and I suspect we'll see him on the outside. Looking at the clock, we're inside 30 seconds now till the start. It's about a 12-second run, Mike, off the top end of the race course to the line. They look good.
I heard you say that yesterday, but 12 and a couple boats jumped, so maybe it's 11 because these boats are speeding up.
I hope these guys don't listen to me. My timing marks don't count. Inside 15 seconds, coming up on 10. Mike, you wanted to have 4 wide at the start. This is what you wanted to do with this start procedure, and you're going to get it. We're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, look at this. Going to break the clock. Jamie Nielsen, Miss Mercury's Coffee on the inside, broke the clock. But the speed, Mike Denslow, was on the outside. Dave Villwalk had a lot of speed as they hammer down into turn number 1. Who's going to get down there first? Jamie Nielsen, Mercury's Coffee, U11. But there's Rooster Tails with him on the outside. Oh, and who is that getting wet in there? I believe that was Corey Peabody. Corey Peabody somehow got hooked to an inside a little bit and got into the Rooster Tail of Jamie Nielsen, and he is going down, or at least going very slowly up the backstretch.
He's got power.
We're being advised of a potential penalty to the 11, but we're going to call the boats the way they are in the water because, Mike Denzo, you're going to come out here with 3 wide. Watch this. There's Nielsen. There's Kelly. And there's Villwalk. 1, 2, 3 as they're going to come down and put lap number 1 of 3 in the book. And we are going this time 3 times around. Dave hangs the Apollo. Holy cow, a lot of air underneath that boat. Jamie Nielsen still hanging on. Dave was really flying the boat, Mike.
He was right alongside J. Michael Kelly. He's showing speed on that Apollo boat.
Start has been ruled legal, so everybody's good there. Here comes Corey Peabody. There may be a question there, but we will get into that after the heat is over. Meanwhile, Jamie Nielsen trying to hold off the winningest driver in the history of the sport, and Dave Villwalk in a brand new boat, and our defending national high points champion, that being J. Michael Kelly. Mike Denslow, it looks like 1 boat going up the backstretch. You've got 3.
I know. I think J. Michael Kelly's making up ground. I think Dave has moved back a little bit, but we'll see right when they come around this yellow buoy.
They should get the green flag when they come. Oh, Kelly is right there. This is going to come down to a 2-boat run to the clock and to pick up a white flag with 1 to go. Villwalk has dropped back. Kelly in lane 2. He's about 2 boat lengths behind. I say it all the time, Mike Denslow, but that's as good as it gets in boat racing. Get a couple of guys hooked up, and they're really going at it.
The water conditions are perfect, and they are hanging it out there.
Miss Mercury's Coffee U11, brand new sponsor. Could they possibly pick up a first heat victory as Jamie flies the boat? He's going to have to pull his foot out a little bit. That may give JMK an opportunity to move up, but it doesn't look like he gained much ground. Again, it looks like one boat out front. There are two. This is going to be a drag race off the top end of the race course to see who wins our Heat 3 presented by the Gunnersville Water Board. Mike Denslow, this is going to be good.
Jamie's hanging it in there, and Mike is right there on his outside.
Acceleration's going to be the key. Nielsen on the inside. Kelly on the outside. This is going to be really close. And J. Michael Kelly is going to come across and pick up a checkered flag.
By a boat length.
Holy cow, if that much. Dave Villwalk in the Miss Apollo. He comes by in third place. And still running on the race course and strong at the top end of the race course is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing, and our defending Gunnersville champion, Corey Peabody. There was the incident, whatever it was that caused Corey Peabody to get inside Jamie Nielsen's rooster tail. I know the officials are going to be looking at that. But here comes a checkered flag going to get waved for Corey Peabody in the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. Yesterday afternoon, on Friday, our fastest legal lap was turned by the Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen. Yesterday, the boat just did not look that strong. Darrell Strong came over to me and said, where did we lose 6 miles an hour? We spent a lot of time looking at the boats. I talked to Scott Rainey. He said, we did the same thing. We went stem to stern on that U11. And he said, we found a whole bunch of little things. And he said, we don't know if we went the right way. We hope we did. We think we did. Regardless of what happened, electric with J. Michael Kelly behind the wheel. The extremely fast U40 bucket list racing with Dustin Eccles handling driving chores. And then it's Andrew Tate in our top qualifier, the U91 Miss Goodman Real Estate. I like this, that everybody's got to come across start-finish line here. Everybody gets a good look at the boats. Here comes our defending national high point. Oh, it does not. See, the colorblind guy got bit there a little bit. That wasn't red. That's bright orange. This is Bucket List Racing and Dustin Eccles, boat owned by Kelly and Sharon Stocklin out of Snohomish, Washington. And we know that one's fast.
Oh, my gosh. Last year, 171 on this course.
Yeah, and earlier this weekend, he ran down our defending national high points champion from the outside. Speaking of that particular competitor, he is across start-finish line right now. He be J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. I like that the new color scheme on the U1.
Well, it helps the colorblind individuals behind the microphone.
That guy. Yep, like him a lot. Like him a lot. So our boats are really spread out here right now. This is this new start procedure. Again, these guys don't know what lane they are going to start in, but there's a whole procedure for that, and we've got time for it to play out. We're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The guys have to be behind the start-finish line at 1:30. And here comes Andrew Tate. Now, he's going to try something maybe a little different. And this is what we're seeing, Mike. We're seeing guys come out and try different things. Maybe by the time we get out west, we'll start seeing some consistent maneuvers. But it seems like every time the guys come out, it's a little something different.
Well, the different courses are going to play different for the strategy. So I'm really interested to see where Tate ends up. J. Michael Kelly, Dustin, Jamie, they're all going to go for lane one, would be my feeling.
Yeah, and you know Jamie's really good at getting it. And, whoa, there goes Dustin Eccles. He cuts the course very quickly here right after going across the start-finish line. Now watch this. He's trying to beat Andrew Tate. And as we saw yesterday, it is a long way across this course. It's 2,000 feet across there, but he got over there in enough time. And the radio man for Andrew Tate said, by the way, that boat coming across in front of you, that is Dustin Eccles.
1 minute to the score up.
Also letting him know that that's J. Michael Kelly that is sitting up there just about at the entrance pin to turn 2. He goes by the entrance buoy there. So you got 3 of them huddled up there. Again, they have not yet decided their lanes. That happens the next time they enter turn 2, whatever lane they are in at that time. That will be the one they have to bring to the start-finish line. Interesting now how good Jamie Nielsen is at getting that inside lane. Right now, he's sitting on the far outside.
He's
watch it change right now.
Here we go.
it's going to change because he got legal overlap on everybody else up there, and he dove into lane 1. So Nielsen now sits in 1 as we approach the 140 mark. Got to be behind the start-finish line at 130. This looks like this will be okay. Who's coming up in between boats? It is J. Michael Kelly. He comes in and just jumps.
Dustin's down.
Dustin is down at the top end of the race course as J. Michael Kelly flies across. Boy, the U1 is really light. And now we've got not only Dustin Eccles dead at the top end of the race course trying to respool. The same is going on with the U91 and Andrew Tate, and he's down. He's completely down right now. And we are at the minute 5 mark right now. Here comes Dustin. He's up and running, but he's going to be way off the pace. Mike, that one was more than slightly ragged.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened up there. I just saw him go down, and then something happened right here in the middle as J. Michael was cutting through a rooster tail, and might have happened to Andrew Tate. Not sure. Yeah,
we're going to watch this really close because Andrew Tate right now is not sitting in a good spot. He's sitting right in one of the first 2 or 3 lanes as we get down approaching 30 seconds, and we've got boats coming up behind him. We're keeping an eye on the officials. The white flag is still hanging. Dustin Eccles is rolling up the backstretch in the U40 Bucket List Racing, trying to catch up to the field. They're saying Andrew is sitting at about lane 3 or 4, but well, he's got 3 boats coming up behind him. This is a situation the officials will take a look at. Still not being told anything is changing. We are inside 5 seconds. We're 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Jamie Nielsen.
Appears to be legal. Not sure quite what happened to Kelly, but Dustin Eccles rocketed by him on the outside. A very, very ragged score up and also an equally ragged start. But the beneficiary of all of this, it's that Mercury Coffees company again, Jamie Nielsen, rolling off the exit pin.
Yeah, it makes me think of Madison last year when he did this. He left everybody. He's at least rooster tail and a half ahead of Dustin.
Yeah, he really is, and Dustin's got just a little over a rooster tail on J. Michael Kelly as Andrew Tate fires up the Goodman Real Estate. He has not yet scored up. He just did because he died before the score. Meanwhile, our race is up at the top end. Jamie on an inside lane, going to come down. This is the first of 3 times around the race course. J. Michael Kelly's been flying the U1 as he came across, but right now it is Jamie Nielsen, U11 Mercury's Coffee, showing everybody the transom on that new sponsor's boat that is owned by Scott and Shannon Rainey. Then it is Dustin Eccles in second place in the Bucket List Racing, chased by the U1, the Beacon Electric. It is very much, Mike, shades of Madison a year ago when Jamie did the same thing to the field.
Yeah, he's still rooster tail, almost 2. He might have stretched it out a little bit.
Yeah, the race might be back for second place because it is JMK on the inside of Dustin Eccles. They're having to negotiate the water being left by Jamie Nielsen. Here comes Andrew Tate. He will come down, but keep an eye on the third place boat. It is the U1, the Beacon Electric, and J. Michael Kelly. He is on the inside of Dustin Eccles, and he's making up ground up there right now. Watch what line they take through the corner versus Jamie Nielsen. Jamie went out to about lane 2. Kelly is staying inside of that wake. That is going to save him ground and get him better water. Dustin Eccles is in second place, but Kelly has made up ground, Mike. He's right with him.
Dustin yesterday tried to come around the outside and lost out by a boat length, and now Mike is trying to come up on the inside. Same 2 boats.
Same 2 boats that we saw in that great heat yesterday. This is the white flag lap. That means it's the last one. And it is still Jamie Nielsen and Mercury Coffee looking strong. Coming off the bottom end of the race course, looks like 1 boat. It is 2. We are dead even for second place up the backstretch. Bright orange and bright red, and they are side by side up the backstretch. The race is for second place. Meanwhile, here comes Andrew Tate. He's still got a couple of laps to go. Our leader, Jamie Nielsen's going to come off the top end and come down and get a checkered flag. Meanwhile, J. Michael Kelly has moved out on Dustin Eccles. He had a great corner at the top end, Mike.
Absolutely, and Mike's got a rooster tail on him already.
There's the checkered flag for the Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen right there. J. Michael Kelly will come across in the Beacon Electric in the U1. Third place is going to go to Dustin Eccles in the U40. the bucket list racing, and we're going to have to watch the flags to make sure we understand exactly which lap Andrew Tate is on he is going to get a white flag this time by, which means he still has another one to go. Oh, that was fun. And Mike, if you look to your left, you might just see a pretty good smile coming over here. Jim, that was very good. I know you had fun with that. There's a big smile coming this way with that guy right there. That is boat owner Scott Rainey. I know he's talking to his driver, he's talking to his team, but oh my goodness, brand new sponsor on the water, at least a victory.
Oh, loads of fun. Isn't that great? I hope everybody watching the live stream's enjoying this. So we're pretty proud of this Miss Mercury's Coffee team, and I don't know what else to say. Let's go. Let's race. This is awesome.
Real quickly, you can say something about that driver. He's pretty good.
Well, he just knows where he needs to be, and they do a lot of planning. Jamie and Ben do up in the truck, and the strategy really shows, and I couldn't be more pleased. I couldn't be more pleased to represent this great sponsor and be part of this great sport.
Do me a favor, go get in the bus and get over there and celebrate with him. Scott Rainey, owner of the U11 Miss Mercury's Coffee Company. Congratulations, man. That is good stuff right there. Daryl, you're involved as much as anybody in H1 Unlimited Racing. You say, I really like to win, but you also like good competition and you like sponsors to succeed.
Strategies are coming into play, and like you mentioned earlier, nobody has fully played their hand yet, so I'm curious to see what goes on in this period.
Yeah, everybody's still learning how to negotiate this start. Everybody's learning what works and perhaps what doesn't. So you may try something new now that you've never tried before, but it may not necessarily work the way you think it will. I think we're going to actually be testing and playing with this start strategy, at least from the team standpoint. I think we're going to see that going on most of the summer.
Yep, and we have boats coming out from the dock right now, so the race before the race starts now, Brad.
Yep, it does indeed. And we are going to get to our position here. I am told in my ear that all of our boats are away from the dock and out on the water. Look at that sight coming across Lake Guntersville. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful sight as the world's fastest race boats come out on the water. Top end of the race course, we'll start calling the boats as we are at the 4-minute and 55-second mark. 4:55 till the start. Watching our intrepid drone pilots here. They've been having a good time this weekend and giving us a lot of great shots. Now let's take a look at our race boats as they come down here. We'll pick them out one by one as they come by out of the sun. Lane number 1, the first one coming down, Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate U91. Just outside him and to the right is the bright orange Bucket List Racing. Then it is the U11 Miss Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen. And Jamie Nielsen says, see you guys, I'm going to cut the course and head to the other side. A perfectly legal maneuver. He can cut the course from the front to the back on the lower end of the race course. He cuts the course from back to front at the top end. Here comes Strong Racing, the duo. There's Corey Peabody. He will be the trailer boat in this one. He comes across start-finish line, and on his left is the bright red and orange, bright yellow if you want, of the U1, the Beacon Electric, and J. Michael Kelly. Still looking for Dave Villwalk. He's up at the top end of the race course, going to get passed right there by Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen sitting in lane number 1. He likes that lane 1, and he's got it a few times this weekend. It would be key if he could get it, Erica.
Absolutely. And we were talking earlier, and we said arguably one of the most fun drivers to watch during the milling period is that of Jamie Nielsen as he goes and cuts the course yet again. But last season, even without those new start procedures, he always made it very exciting as we have another boat trailing him right now. So strategies are coming out to play.
Yes, they indeed are. That's Dave Villwalk that went across the start-finish line and then cut the course. So we had a couple, 2 or 3 of them do it. Looking at the clock, 3 minutes and 10 seconds, 3:10 till our start. Here comes Andrew Tate. Now he's keeping the boat up. He went down and slowed way down in a couple of those preliminary heats, and it ended up costing him because he spent too much time having to fire it back up. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him keep the speed up on that boat and not risk that problem again. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Here comes Corey. Corey has to start 10 seconds behind the field. 2:45. Erica, we got boats spread all over the race course, but they're going to be bunching up here pretty quick. Remember, they have to be behind the start-finish line buoys at 1:30.
They do indeed, and you were mentioning Andrew Tate, and we were talking about him earlier as in that first heat he had what he said was 100% a driver's error as he went dead in the water, and in another milling period the boat went dead. So I think he's bound and determined to keep speeds up right here.
Yeah, here we go. Here goes the fun part. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. They've got to be behind the start-finish line at $1:30. And everybody is up the backstretch, going to go into the corner. So this is where the strategy is going to be. You're going to go up there early and shut it off and hold yourself to an inside lane and run the risk of these guys behind you coming up and taking it away. We saw Jamie Nielsen do that earlier today. 154 right now, and we've got our entire field up there. We need to figure out who is sitting in lane number 1. Is that Andrew Tate in the 91 sitting in lane 1? Oh, boy, that's going to be a tough nut to crack if that's the case. But they have not yet decided their lanes. That doesn't happen until such time. And here comes some speed to the line. We're 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark. That's going to be a legal score up. So everybody has scored up legally and was behind that buoy at the minute 30 mark. So that part has been taken care of. But, Erica, these guys have not yet determined what lane they're going to run in.
They have not indeed, and they're all down at the bottom of the race course right now. We see Dustin Eccles sitting pretty close to the inside, but right behind him trailing is that of Andrew Tate.
Now watch what's going to happen here is Dustin Eccles got enough overlap, and he's going to move into lane 1. That's going to put Andrew Tate on the outside. Dustin Eccles, I think, has just stuck the orange bucket list racing on that inside lane. I'm surprised that maybe Andrew Tate didn't challenge him a little bit more. They still have not yet determined their lanes. They've got to have a 5 boat length overlap before they can move in. They will determine their lanes at the entrance pin. They have done that. The lane they are in right now is the lane they must start in. Now, it's interesting to watch Dave Villwalk. Dave Villwalk is way behind everybody. Of course, Corey Peabody is way behind as well, but the clock still has 27 seconds sitting on it, so now these guys are going to go slow up here. Watch Villwalk. He's not the last boat going into the corner. He's the second to the last one. He's going to be the first one to hit the gas, and he has done so. Here comes Villwalk. He's going to be out in lane number 5, but he's going to try and slingshot on these guys and bring a lot of boat speed to the clock. We're inside 10 seconds. Here comes our start. It's time for the race for the Southern Cup. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark, man, that was a close start, but I think it was legal. I think it was legal as our boats go down. We'll call them as they are on the water. There's Corey Peabody. He starts behind everybody as he's supposed to. Who's going to come out of the first corner first? U91 Goodman Real Estate. Andrew Tate. Holy smoke, he came out of there quick. Then second place. It is a clean start. Everybody is legal. Now look at Jamie Nielsen. He is sitting in second place on the inside. Andrew Tate's almost opened up a rooster tail. Then just behind and to the left of Jamie Nielsen. And that Miss Mercury's Coffee is Bucket List Racing in U40. But it's a U40 on an inside lane. He's got the lane advantage up there. Careful, guys, through the upper end of the race course. Now watch Tate. He's got to leave room for 2 boats between him and the buoy. He certainly does. Going to get tight in there for Eccles, but there was room. Andrew Tate coming down. He is going to pick up the lead at the end of one. It's Andrew Tate. Erica, he's driving that thing like a rocket, and he's got a lot of speed.
He is. He is really pushing this boat to its fullest capabilities. As we've known, it's had the results in the past, and he said he has everything he needs to win, and that is on full display right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, keep an eye on third place, because third place right now is J. Michael Kelly. He is in the Beacon Electric. He's in third. He's got his sights set on Jamie Nielsen in the Mercury's Coffee as they're about a third of the way up the backstretch. The boat's in second and third place, but our leader, Andrew Tate, U91, Goodman Real Estate. Holy smoke. And as you were talking, Erica, a little bit earlier, he still doesn't understand this boat. He needs more seat time in it. That's going to worry some people because this thing is running like a rocket. The race for second place is still good. So is the race for fourth. The race for fourth is a barn burner. Andrew Tate will come down and put another one in the books. That's number 2 of 5. Tate in a Goodman Real Estate. Second place, Jamie Nielsen trying to hold off our defending national high points champion, J. Michael Kelly, and he's doing a fine job of it. Then it's Bucket List Racing and Dave Villwalk in that brand new boat. He's really got it hooked up and rolling. Keep an eye on Villwalk, too. The boat is light on its feet, and he knows how to fly it. Now, lap number 3, halfway up the backstretch. We are halfway through our Southern Cup final. Andrew Tate with a big lead. Then it is second place, Jamie Nielsen in the Miss Mercury's Coffee. J. Michael Kelly's trying to run down Nielsen, but I don't see him. Oh, now Kelly has moved to the inside. Watch him when they come off the top end of the course up here. I think Kelly has moved to the inside, but Jamie's got enough room on him if he wants to slam the door. Watch how much lane space or where JMK comes off the top end of the course. He is the boat in third. Now our leader, Andrew Tate, will come down and put the third lap in the book. Yes, JMK did indeed go to the inside. Still, Andrew Tate, he's not giving any ground to anybody right now, Erica.
He is not, and despite a blowover last year here, he still was able to gain second place on points, and the last time that he won here was in 2018.
Dave Villwalk in the Miss Apollo has moved now into fourth place. I tell you, you're going to have to keep an eye on that boat one of these days, too, because they're going to figure out that new rod, and Villwalk knows how to drive. The race is still back there for second place, and J. Michael Kelly, honestly, he is not being able to eat into the lead for second place for Jamie Nielsen in the Mercury's Coffee. He went to the inside at the top end of the race course the last time around, but then Jamie Nielsen closed the door on him and made him go back outside. Mike's trying, but he's on the outside of him now. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Now, yeah, he is still on the outside. He tried the inside. Nielsen slammed the door on him. But we're starting to run out of time here, Erica, because you look out here on the start-finish line. The white flag flies. There's one more to go, and it is Andrew Tate driving a 91, the Goodman Real Estate. Look at Jamie Nielsen just flying the 11. The boat is running beautifully. Scott and Shannon Rainey, your boat is a rocket. Mercury's Coffee, you guys have got a piece to deal with. Kelly is in third place. Villwalk running around in the slop in fourth. Then it is Dustin Eccles in Bucket List Racing, our leader. Oh, now Kelly's back to the inside. He's dived to the inside of Nielsen. That's going to be your race coming to the line, but our leader is up the backstretch. It is still Andrew Tate. It has been since the very onset of this heat. Now, the radio guys for Jamie Nielsen, they're going to tell him exactly where J. Michael Kelly sits. Kelly really didn't close much distance up the backstretch, so I don't know if Jamie's going to close the door on him, but I don't think he can now because Mike's getting too close to him. That's going to be a drag race and a close one for second place in the Southern Cup. But our winner, your winner of the 2014 Southern Cup is Goodman Real Estate and Andrew Tate. Oh, boy, and Jamie Nielsen flies the 11. Kelly's right with him on the inside. But it's going to be Jamie Nielsen driving the Miss Mercury's Coffee to a solid second place finish. He was able to hold off a charging J. Michael Kelly. Here comes the Miss Apollo and Dave Villwalk. He will come back in fourth place. And our fifth place boat will be Dustin Eccles. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of smiles right here at the start-finish line where the Mercury's Coffee people are hanging out. They are happy. You'd think they won this thing. Oh, my goodness. But, Erica, you want to talk about a dominating performance. We just saw one. Andrew Tate and these Goodman Real Estate guys. Boy, that thing was hot. 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1A, our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, the fastest race boats in the world, can now come out on the race course. The first boat away from the pit area is the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. So that was the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing. Let's run down the boats that will be in our Heat 1A. The U1, it is predominantly blue and white. It is the Miss Homestreet. It is driven by Dylan Runney. He is a rookie, but he is a good one. He's going to be joined by the bright red Beacon Electric U8, driven by J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael Kelly's teammate, Corey Peabody, drives the U9. It's predominantly white. It is the Beacon Plumbing. And rounding out our 4-boat field in our Heat 1A is the white trimmed in black and gold Goodman Real Estate. It's U91. It is driven by Andrew Tate. Our boats can cut the race course. I'm expecting we're going to see some of that happen here very quickly. But before we get to that, as J. Michael Kelly is going to cut across the race course, the start of our Heat 1A is just a few minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the fastest race boats in the world. John Walters, I made a comment that I expected a couple of the boats to cut the race course. They all did.
Yeah, the race started the minute they pushed the button to leave the dock there, and you can see they're all running fairly close together. The start is huge here. These are only 3-lap preliminary races, so if somebody gets a jump on you, it's tough, as fast as all these boats are, you'll make up that difference and make up that distance. And you're going to see guys that want to have the inside lane. They're going to try to drag guys up there early so that they can, maybe get them to jump the gun or make a mistake. You have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. That's kind of a judgment call now. And as Dylan cuts across the infield here to try and pick up that inside lane as everybody else is coming down the front straightaway here. So it's going to be a battle from the very beginning. Just like we said, this is a heavyweight championship, but it's going to be, 4 different fighters.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So we're coming up on 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, for those of you that have never seen this before, we're not racing yet. That doesn't mean we're not in the middle of a competition right now. Watch J. Michael Kelly. Is he going to make a move? I thought maybe he might jump across to the backstretch, but no, that would have been a legal maneuver, but he did not. He went all the way down to the bottom of the race course as we approach 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start. Remember, our boats do not have assigned lanes. They are jockeying for position. So wherever somebody is on the course right now, that may be where they want to be. It may not be where they want to be. As John was talking earlier, you've got to have a plan B, C, and sometimes D when you get out on the race course. We will begin our 3-lap preliminary Heat 1A in 1 minute and 50 seconds. John, they're all up at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runney's going to come off first.
Yeah, the way this race course is set up, at the 1 minute gun, you want to be between, about the apex of turn 1 here and the exit pin. It's a short run down that back straightaway, especially as fast as these guys go. So you're going to see everybody try to get down there, and like you mentioned, you're either at where the spot you want to be on the race course or where you would think you want the competition to think you want to be there. So a lot of this is just head games, and a lot of it's playing the game.
And another piece to this puzzle that we talked about earlier, but not yet during this heat, the boats cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. So that really affects how you fight for these positions. You can't just go park in a lane at the top end of the race course. You have to maintain at least 80 miles an hour. That will be determined by the officials when we finish the heat and the boats come back to the pit area and they look at the data recorder. So now inside 1 minute, they were pretty much where you were talking about, John, and right now it looks as though Dylan Runney in the U1, the Miss Homestreet, is going to sit in lane number 1 up the backstretch. That's going to be his teammate Andrew Tate sitting in 2, lane 3. It looks like Corey Peabody, but we're going to watch where J. Michael Kelly might slot. He's coming up behind the boats, and we are inside 35 seconds. John, they're at the top end. We're going to be racing here inside 25 seconds.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape. Dylan may be a little bit early, and you saw J. Michael Kelly last week, get up there too early, and he had to make a decision. Do I jump the gun or do I get disqualified? If you jump the gun, at least you get to continue to race. It's about 7 seconds off the exit pin, and here they come.
Inside 10 seconds now. They come down to the start. It is Runny in 1. It is Tate in 2. It's Peabody in 3. On the outside, J. Michael Kelly. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it looks to be legal from here. We'll call them as they are on the water. And John Walters said that Dylan Runny didn't bring a lot of boat speed down as he was early. He's going to trail the field into turn 1. Our leader on the outside is J. Michael Kelly, but he's already been passed to the left of him on the inside. That is going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and inside of him it is Andrew Tate. It is Tate. It is Peabody up the backstretch. Halfway through, Peabody on the outside. He's up by about 3 boat lengths, but now, John, it's that inside lane position that Andrew's got at the top end.
Yeah, Corey's really in the best position here because he can control, how wide and how early, they get into the turn there. So he's going to try to hold and maintain that radius around there as they start down the straightaway towards the start-finish line at the end of lap 1.
A boat that's showing me an awful lot of speed right now is J. Michael Kelly because he's staying in the mix here, and he's running the biggest race course on the far outside. Our 4th place boat across the line is Dylan Runny in the home street now, down to the lower end of the race course. It is still Corey Peabody. He's running in lane number 2. He's holding Andrew Tate to a nice tight line on the inside. He's driving him legal, John. He's giving him enough room, but he's not giving him any more.
Yeah, he's not giving him any extra, and he knows exactly where he's at. He's got spotters that are telling him he can see the race course himself very well, and he knows as long as he can pinch, Andrew in that first turn there, that he's going to have to come off the throttle to maintain his boat speed so he doesn't slide out into that rooster tail. So he's actually controlling the first turn, even though he's not in the first lane.
I've been making the comment all weekend long that nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle, and once again he's out almost by a rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly on the far outside has got his sight set on Andrew Tate, but that's going to be a tall order as the boats go down to the bottom end of the race course for the 3rd and final time. Our leader off the exit pin, Corey Peabody, got almost a full rooster tail now on Andrew Tate on the inside. Tate, our top qualifier. Our Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody was our 3rd fastest qualifier, but John Walters, they've got a good race setup, and he's walking away from our top qualifier up the backstretch.
They've got an excellent race set up. The water was good. Corey did a really good job, and like I mentioned earlier, lane 2 is the place you want to be here. This is a big, wide race course with big turns, and boy, you get on any farther outside than that, and it's a long, long ways around these turns, but Corey was in a position to control that first turn and really put him in a position to win.
Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody in the U9. Beacon Plumbing, 2nd place, is going to go to our top qualifier, Andrew Tate, U91 Goodman Real Estate. Then it's J. Michael Kelly in 3rd, driving the 8. That is the Beacon Electric. And the man who was a little bit early at the start, and you saw how it can cost him, Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street. You talked about it, John. You said maybe Dylan was early. He was. He came off the corner. The other guys were behind him, got to put the foot down. They brought the momentum to the line. And unfortunately, as you said prior to the heat, you can't let these guys get the jump on you because they're just too quick. You'll never catch them in 3 laps.
Exactly. And in the old days, you used to be able to sneak up there a little bit early, and you could back off the throttle. You could, use up some extra time going wide in the turns or whatever. But if you drop below 80 miles an hour, you're going to get penalized now. So you put yourself in a real tough position. You want to get up there and put yourself in a good spot to be able to get the lane that you want without having to forfeit the boat speed. And Corey did just a great job, kept the boat in good, clean